His hand trembled as it brushed against her emerald skin, but once it settled over her heart, the universe seemed to stop. The chamber fell silent, so silent he could hear the thunder of his own heartbeat, and then, impossibly, hers echoing back in rhythm. Her body was cold, her lips still, her glow fading, and yet the moment his fingers pressed against her chest, light stirred beneath her flesh, golden and alive. Gasps broke from her family standing around the bed, royal guardians, warriors of an alien dynasty who had sworn never to let a human near her. And yet none of them moved, because something ancient and forbidden had awakened between them. His breath caught as her chest rose faintly, her glow spilling into his palm, as if her spirit chose him of all beings in the galaxy to call her back. He didn't dare let go. He couldn't. For the first time in his life, the fate of another's heartbeat was tied to his own, and it was the most dangerous, most beautiful thing he had ever known. The great hall of the palace was filled with shadows and dread. The alien princess, their jewel, their only heir, had been slipping away for hours despite every healer, every ritual, every desperate plea. Her people lined the walls like statues carved from emerald stone, their faces grim as they watched their future vanish. And then this human, an outsider, a soldier taken captive in the war only weeks before, had stepped forward when no one else dared. He had not expected them to allow it. In truth, they hadn't. But the queen, broken by the sight of her dying daughter, had not stopped him when he knelt by the bedside. Maybe it was despair, maybe it was madness, but she had whispered, "Try." And so he did. Now the princess lay beneath him, her silver hair spread across the pillow like threads of moonlight, her skin scarred and pale beneath its green hue. Her breaths had been shallow, almost gone. Yet under his hand, warmth began to return, subtle but undeniable. The glow spread through her chest, then across her neck, up to her cheeks, as if his very touch had called life back to her veins. The family gasped again, their shock mixing with suspicion. His human hand, rough with calluses, looked out of place against her flawless alien skin, yet there was no denying what was happening. She was healing. He leaned closer, his voice raw with disbelief. "Stay with me, please." The princess stirred. Her lips parted, soft, trembling. Her eyes fluttered open, and when they fixed on him, it felt as if the galaxy itself had narrowed to that single gaze. Her irises glowed faintly, not with the brilliance of a warrior, but with the fragile beauty of someone between death and life. Then, in a voice so faint he almost thought he imagined it, she whispered a word, one that none of her family recognized, one spoken in his tongue. "Beloved." And the hall erupted into chaos. The word hung in the air like a blade. Beloved. It didn't belong in her tongue, yet it slipped from her lips perfectly, with the tenderness of someone who had known him all her life. The alien court staggered in disbelief. Murmurs rippled across the chamber. Her father, the king, stepped forward, his face twisted with outrage, but the glow pulsing from her chest to the human's hand froze him where he stood. "She speaks, in the enemy's language," one of the generals muttered. "Impossible," hissed another. The queen's eyes shone with tears, but even she struggled to comprehend. "What have you done to her?" she demanded, her voice sharp and trembling. "I don't know," the human whispered, truth raw in his tone. His gaze never left the princess, whose fingers were now curled faintly around his own. She was alive, more alive than moments ago, and yet the way she looked at him was not just gratitude. It was recognition, as though some invisible thread had tied them together long before this moment. Guards shifted uneasily, their hands tightening on their weapons. Every second he kept touching her heart felt like a transgression too dangerous to tolerate. Yet when he tried to pull away, her hand tightened weakly, refusing to let him go. "No," she whispered, her voice still faint, her eyes burning with quiet insistence. "Stay." A gasp swept through her family. The king's fury deepened, his jaw clenching. "Remove him," he commanded, but no one moved. None dared risk breaking whatever bond was knitting her wounds closed, whatever miracle had taken hold between her and the human prisoner. The queen raised a trembling hand, stopping the guards. "If you pull him away, she will die," she said, her voice breaking under the weight of fear. Let her decide." It was unthinkable, an alien princess, heir to a throne, choosing the touch of a human as her lifeline. Yet it was happening before their eyes. Time slowed. His thumb brushed across her knuckles, a small, unspoken promise that he would not abandon her. His heart hammered with a strange mix of fear and desire. He knew the danger, knew that if her family didn't strike him down now, their armies surely would. Yet he couldn't deny the pull between them. She was a mystery wrapped in scars and starlight, and the way she looked at him made the rest of the galaxy fall away. The glow finally dimmed, steadying into the soft rhythm of her heartbeat. She drew in a deeper breath, her voice firmer now. "I know him," she whispered to her family, though her eyes never left his. "I saw him, in the darkness. He called me back." "You dreamt," the king spat. "No," she said, her tone laced with conviction. "I chose." The silence that followed was suffocating. He could feel the weight of their stares on his skin, heavy with suspicion, hatred, fear. Yet the princess's hand still clung to his, her grip stronger now. "Take him to her chambers," the queen ordered at last, her voice firm but trembling. "She will speak with him alone." The king recoiled. "You cannot be serious." But the queen silenced him with a glare that carried the weight of her authority. The human's chest tightened. To be alone with her. To stand at her side without the entire court watching? He didn't know if it was a blessing or a death sentence. As the guards led him away, he felt her gaze burn into his back, alive, defiant, and terrifyingly beautiful. The door to her private chambers shut with a heavy clang, leaving only the hush of flickering lanterns and the faint rustle of her breath. For a moment, he stood frozen, unsure whether he had been brought here as a savior, a pawn, or a sacrifice. The silence pressed against him until her voice, soft, melodic despite its weakness, broke it. "You are not afraid." He turned. The princess was propped against silken pillows, her silver hair spilling like starlight over the bed. Her wounds had not vanished, but the glow within her chest still pulsed faintly, as though tethered to him even now. Her gaze held his, steady and unflinching, as though she had waited lifetimes to see him. "I should be," he admitted. His throat tightened under the weight of her beauty and the strangeness of this moment. "Your family could kill me with a word." Her lips curved faintly, more sorrow than smile. "And yet you stayed. Even when my light was fading." He took a step closer, unable to stop himself. "I couldn't let go." Her breath caught. "I saw you," she whispered, her eyes shimmering as though reflecting some memory far beyond this room. "In the darkness, when the cold tried to pull me away. 1,000 voices called, but only yours reached me. You spoke, and I followed it back." He swallowed hard. "That wasn't real. You were dreaming." "No," her voice sharpened, filled with quiet certainty. "It was destiny." The word sent a shiver through him. He wanted to deny it, to break the spell before it crushed him. And yet, as he stood by her bed, close enough to feel the faint warmth radiating from her skin, he couldn't. Their hands brushed again, and with that simple contact the glow brightened, thrumming between them like a secret heartbeat shared. Her fingers curled into his. The air thickened, the world shrinking until only the two of them existed. His pulse roared in his ears as he leaned closer, caught in the pull of her eyes, her breath, the undeniable gravity between them. He could taste the risk of it, the sheer impossibility, and yet the thought of turning away was unbearable. "You don't know what this means," she whispered, her voice trembling not with fear but with longing. "If they discover how deep this bond runs, they will tear us apart." "Then let them try," he murmured, the words slipping from his lips before he could stop them. "I won't lose you." Her eyes widened, shining with emotion, her chest rising with a sharp breath. The closeness was unbearable, intoxicating, dangerous. His forehead brushed against hers, not quite a kiss, but a promise whispered in the space between their lips. And then, footsteps. Heavy, echoing just beyond the chamber door. Her grip tightened around his hand, her glow flaring in response. Fear crossed her face, but beneath it, a fierce resolve. "I won't let them take you," she vowed, her voice low and trembling with defiance. The door rattled. Voices rose outside. The moment was breaking. She turned to him, her hand refusing to release his. "No matter the cost," she said, her voice raw, "I choose you." The door began to open. The chamber door burst open, and the glow between their hands seared like molten fire. Guards spilled inside, armored and stern, their weapons glinting in the lantern light. The king himself entered behind them, his presence filling the room like a storm. His eyes, sharp as blades, fixed on the intertwined hands of his daughter and the human. Fury carved itself into every line of his face. "Release him," the king commanded, his voice thunder. But the princess sat taller against her pillows, her grip ironclad around the human's fingers. "No." The word echoed like a crack across stone. Gasps rippled among the guards. Even the queen, standing in the doorway with tears trembling on her lashes, looked stunned by the defiance. "You disgrace your blood," the king growled, stepping closer, each stride heavy with rage. "A daughter of the royal line clinging to an enemy. He is nothing." "He is mine," she interrupted, her voice sharp as glass. Her emerald skin flushed with renewed strength, her glow brightening as though his presence alone fed it. "He is the one who called me back when even your gods turned away. You will not touch him." The human's chest tightened. He knew he was standing at the edge of a blade, one wrong move away from execution. Yet her words wrapped around him like armor, giving him courage he had never known. He met the king's gaze and spoke, his voice steady. "I never asked for this. But she chose me. And I choose her." The hall went still. For a moment, only the glow of her chest and the pounding of his heart filled the silence. Then the king roared, drawing his blade, its edge catching the firelight. The guards shifted, some uncertain, others eager for blood. The queen's voice cut through the chaos. "Enough." Her command rang with authority, stopping even the king mid-step. "Can you not see? Her wounds knit when he touches her. Her light strengthens with him. Whether you accept it or not, their bond is real." The king's chest heaved with fury, but doubt cracked his expression. He looked to his daughter, and what he saw, the unshakable resolve in her gaze, pierced even his rage. Still, he spat the words like poison. "Then go. If you would throw away your crown for him, leave this house. Leave this throne. Leave your family." The princess's hand trembled in his, but her grip never faltered. Her eyes, burning with tears and fire, turned to the human. "I would leave everything, except you." Her declaration silenced the chamber. Even the guards looked away, unsettled by the weight of it. He drew her carefully from the bed, his arm steady around her as she rose on shaking legs. The glow pulsed brighter now, wrapping them both in golden light. They walked together past the stunned faces, past the weapons, past the court that could no longer hold them. At the threshold, she looked back once, not with regret, but with promise. "One day," she said to her family, her voice steady as steel, "our love will heal more than just me. It will heal the galaxy you have broken." And then she stepped into the night beside him, her hand locked in his, their light spilling into the dark. The stars stretched endless above, vast and uncertain, but together, they felt unstoppable. Two souls, bound by a touch that defied empires, walking into a future neither could see yet neither feared. Because they had already chosen.